Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today with me I have my 10th vintage collection. So this is a 1970's polar hybrid ceiling fan over here. So the label, as you can see here, polar capacitor fan. This doesn't mention hybrids, but this thing, this fan actually was known by the name hybrids itself. You can see the broad blades and everything. So here, as you can see, and the label actually tells a different story, but I guess that's the fault of the company or something. So you can see here, sweep is like 1500 or 1600, I don't know properly, but the blades look like a proper 48-inch blades over here. So whatever, maybe the printing error or something like that. But this fan, actually I cannot be sure, because this fan actually I could not open it because the fan is very tight. So this time I guess I won't be able to tell you the number of poles in this fan. But as this is a 1970's, and if at all it had it been a 56-inch, then it would have a 18 plus 9 coil, and if at all this is the 48-inch or whatever, the label tells a different story, but this looks like a 48-inch or whatever. So that would be 16 plus 16. So I don't really know, but you can see one thing here. As you can see, this motor is super thick, really thick. As you can see here, the thickness is, I guess the thickness is more compared to my 1970's prima also. This is so thick. And yes, this is a threaded type fan, as it's a 1970's, and the fan weight is like around 20 to, I mean, these usually the 48-inch and all, or no matter what, these 1970's weigh around 20 kgs or somewhat like that only, because this is a full cast iron fan, no aluminum. Only the rotor is aluminum and all the, I mean, some parts may be aluminum, but overall this whole thing, like the cover, the rod, even this nut, the inside the capacitor holder and everything is cast iron. This whole block is also cast iron. So that's the thing. And you can see, so these 1970's usually had a threaded type shackle, but I don't know whether they cut this rod or this is the unoriginal rod, because in those days threaded rods used to be common in the outer market, because these kind of fans were prevalent. So whatever. And the upper canopy is also missing, but that's not a problem because this rod is quite small, so that won't make a difference. If at all you fit a upper canopy here, then you have to use, either you can just like increase the length of this rod, or you have to use a S hook, and many people don't usually promote S hook. So whatever, maybe that's the case over here. And this originally did not come with a very good quality wire, but I've changed the wires to higher gauge because this is a very heavy duty fan. This is an industrial grade type of fan, and those measly wires actually, those had served their purpose for long, but whatever, while peeling off the whole thing came out and the insulation was chipped off. So I thought rather I replace with these, because these are better quality. And you can see the blade here. This is the blade. It's very broad and the blade is kind of heavy, and you can see the shank. And this is a pretty thick aluminum sheet. Don't think this is something, and don't think this is something light. This blade is really heavy. I can feel it on my hand. So three blades here, and these blades are not very easy to bend because the aluminum sheet of this fan is very thick. And now some people might be telling me that this is a paper label and whatsoever, but you can see Polar Fan Industries and whatsoever. I searched on many platforms the actual year, but no platform, I think no platform maybe knows the actual year of this fan. I mean the actual year of Polar Industries. So this is the Polar Fan Industries, and usually, like, many of these polars were made by either Sunil Fan Industries or maybe Sumach Electricals also. Those were all late 70s to 80s. And Polar Fan Industries existed in around 70s only. Later on, Polar usually made it with vendors and all. So that's the thing over here. So this is the original Polar made by Polar Fan Industries, and this is one of the first models. Let me let you know this thing as well. This and the 24 carats, I mean the Polar hybrids, I mean this and the Polar 24 carats. If at all you don't know that fan, then check out Electro DIY's video. That he also has many videos on fans and stuff. Another guy interested in fans, so there you may check it out. His the Polar 24 carats. So, and that's a 4 blade deco version, and I guess that has a false cover also. And this one is, the whole thing is cast iron. This is a very simple fan, not much plastic parts. Everything is usually metal. Only this canopy, the connector and all. I mean, very little amount of plastic used. There's not much of a plastic, and this plastic is also very good quality. And you can see this rubber here. If at all your canopy is not having this rubber, then cut a gasket seal and use that as the rubber, so that this canopy will be in its place. Otherwise this can be either like this or like, this diameter is quite huge compared to this, so it should not be like that. Always use this kind of a thing. And always, I have seen many fans out there, always use this check nut. Never loosen, never just ignore this. And this cotter pin is very important for your fan. I know this is broken, and I'll try to find and replace the cotter pin as soon as possible. Never reuse the old cotter pin. And always use this cotter pin and tighten this nut fully. But you cannot always rely on the check nut, because if I remove the cotter pin, see, this check nut is loose already. So if at all this is loose, then these two will protect you, because this is just for a tight fit and the cotter pin does the whole job. The cotter pin will not let the thread to loosen, as it will cause an obstruction. So always make sure that the cotter pin is tight. And on the shaft also there is one screw. I don't know if I can show you, because if at all I have to flip the I mean, not if I have to remove the canopy from its position, first of all I have to remove the screw, and then I have to remove this cotter pin also. So I don't think that's possible every time, because this cotter pin is rusted. I cannot literally just keep doing it. So I guess, so I don't know if you can see inside here, but you might be noticing a small screw like thing. I don't know if you can see here. So yes, you can see that screw also. And always make sure that you tighten that screw also on the lower part of the capacitor holder, because if you don't literally do that, then again this fan is going to come and fall on your head. These check nuts are very important, as you can see here clearly. This is a very important check nut. Always make sure that these check nuts are in a tight condition, otherwise this fan will fall on your head. And this fan, literally, this is very heavy. I cannot even hold it properly. Oh my god, I cannot hold it for a long time. And installing is easy because of this kind of a shackle. But if at all there's a threaded shackle, then it may cause a problem in this kind of a junction here. And yes, this is a rally fan. Video coming soon on this as well. So now let me show the working condition. So this, actually I don't know whether the bearings were replaced or not. I think maybe not, because this fan was really dusty. And no need to replace it also, because the fan is very smooth. No such noise. And the bearings are completely free, as you can see here. No such noise. And the bearings are also free. So I'll try to plug in the fan and show you the performance, but I'm not 100% sure, because this fan is really heavy. But whatsoever, let me just do it. And remember one thing, this is a full cast iron fan. So no matter, even if it falls down or whatever, nothing is gonna happen to this fan. You should be worried about your tiles because those may break because of this. But nothing's gonna happen to this because this is a really heavy duty and industrial grade fan. Let me tell you this one, and this is a really heavy fan. So now let me try to plug this in. I don't know if you will be able to see it. I'm not sure if I'll be fortunate enough to hold this for a very long time. Oh my god. Ah. So guys, sorry for the delay. It's very tough actually to hold it. But let me just do it because, like, so yes, I was able to. I guess I'm successful here. So let me turn it on for you. So this is the condition over here. I think you saw it. So that was the condition. This is working pretty fine. So this is the fan here, as you are seeing. This is a very heavy duty fan, and this fan is still with its original coils only. No such problem occurred in these many years, and this is around 50, or maybe this is above 50 years already. I don't know the actual year, but this is the 1970s only, because 1980s wouldn't have been like this. The 1980s are usually lighter than this, and those are also industrial grade only, but those are light duty. But this one is heavy duty, I can assure you that. And you can see the stator also, the diameter of the rotor is pretty huge. This circle tells you the diameter of the rotor, the outer ring. And the stator also might be, because the rotor is also pretty thick, so the stator, actually I don't think so that it would be less than 16 pole, because this has to handle this heavy motor and also these heavy blades. And literally these blades are above 1 kg, let me tell you that also. These are around 2 kgs. One blade also with, I mean, you can feel one blade also in this one. So that's the thing. And this is a very good fan, very long lasting fan. And I say in some cases this fan can easily defeat usha prima. This fan will never have shaft issue, because the bearing fitment on the shaft is very tight. So that's why no shaft issues in this fan. And the process of opening, it's little complicated, but if at all you stay calm, then it's okay. You don't have to face a lot of issue. First of all, you have to open this screw, then remove the cotter pin, so the canopy will be released from here. Remove the shackle, and if at all it's a thread type, then don't worry about it, just lift the canopy. And as I showed you the check nut inside, you have to release that check nut, then remove two screws from the motor and tighten one screw as hard as possible so that the motor will be jammed. Then you can remove the capacitor connector. Before that, make sure that you remove all the wires. There should be no branching parts, otherwise the winding wires may tear off. In this, the condition is pretty good, but no matter what the condition, you should always make sure that all the connections are removed and you already removed the capacitor. Otherwise it will be a mess, it will be hell, because these are 70s. This is not a new fan, as you know. And in most cases, sometimes the, what to say, those wires get toast and they'll be dancing here and there. So never do that kind of stuff. First of all, get rid of the wires. And if at all your wires are too tight, because in this fan this is a threaded shaft, so there obviously there will be no slit or hole or whatsoever. Maybe you have to remove the wires from the hole where the wires came. So if at all your wires are toast, always use some oil or spray WD-40 before you remove the wires, because if at all the wires are toast, then it will be a mess. The stator will be a mess. Then you have to find all the leads and you have to take new lead wires. So until every single part in this fan is original, let it be original and don't play with it. This is literally a warning sign, because I have seen many people, and most of them usually tamper the winding or the winding wires, I mean the lead or whatsoever. Never do that. And don't take this fan on light. This fan is really very heavy. I'm stressing on this point because whoever has this fan, they literally know the pain. But this fan, if at all you have this fan, you also know that the airflow of this fan will be pretty thick, and you can see the shank, very good angle of the shank, and the blades are very broad. This blade is actually even broad, it is even wider than the Orient Deluxe or the later polars. As you know, later polars like Theta or Beta Deluxe, Beta, then Crown Polar, I mean Royal Deluxe or whatever may be. This blade is very much wider than those. Only thing is, in the Orient Deluxe, this side is bit wider, but this overall blade is very wide, and the sheet is also thick. This blade is not very easy to bend, but still, thanks to the previous owner, I guess he was a legendary person. Still the blade is bent. I have somewhat straightened it, but I have to straighten it a bit more. But whatever, two of the blades are okay in this, and that one, more than half of the thing is sorted, so I don't think there should be a problem later on. So you can see this fan here, so polar, and this fan, maybe it was last seen in the 80s, and later on a different version of this was seen, because the polar used to make it by vendors, and again by the late 90s or something, I guess they again started making on their own, and it was named Polar Fan Industries or whatever. So whatsoever might be the thing, that's the case. And here's the original polar, so you can see the label is still shiny, still bears everything. Only thing, this was dusty, that's why the label is little spoiled, but whatever. And the canopy is also in a very good condition. I like this when the canopy and everything is in a good condition, and you can see how beautiful this red color looks, the gloss finish. Dust maybe have spoiled this, but still it's okay. And the lower side, I guess there used to be an artist. Let me show you the lower side also, if at all you did not see. I'm sorry that I cannot show the performance of this fan. You can see all the art here. So whatever, I'm really sorry that I cannot show the performance of this, because this fan, literally, this is so heavy that I am not sure whether I should install it. I could uninstall it, but installing is quite a mess. And you can see how thick the shackle is. This may resemble you with the Bajaj shackle, but this is not, I guess so. But this is a very thick shackle, and it was holding the fan for quite a long time. And you can see this is a M8 bolt, which was usually used in those Crompton chandelier, or the, I mean not chandelier, the later ones, like the later chandeliers or the deck air or something like that. And this is the M6 bolt here usually used. So, but that's not the main point. The main point is this screw, the screw in the below, and this cotter pin. This should never be misplaced, and also this nut over here. Never replace these things. Never, I mean never misplace these things, not replace. Replacing should be done for the cotter pin. Never misplace the nut also, because these kind of fan parts are not available in the outer market nowadays, because this fan was discontinued long ago, and threaded technology was abandoned in the 1990s. So I guess Polar and all still had threaded technology till 1993 or so, 1993 or 1995, whatever, something like that. But this technology is long ago gone, so you have to be very careful with this. And this, actually, I never had this style ceiling fan with me, so I thought maybe this would complete my collection, because you have seen the usha, those have pipe like threading, and not this kind of a threading. And actually this is my second fan with such a mechanism. The first one was 1970s Hybris 56, but I guess that fan couldn't stay with me, so I bought this one. So this is a really rare fan, and if at all you get this fan from anywhere, I would say just close your eyes and go for this fan, because this fan will never trouble you. And if at all you have, even if you have to rewind this fan, then rewind this fan. And if at all it's in a bad condition, then restore this fan or whatever, because this fan is a really good fan, and you won't get such a quality, such heavy duty thing in today's time. So as you can see here, this itself is a living example. No repairs, zero repair history in this one, because I had cleaned a lot of dust, and this is using a 2 MFD capacitor. Kudos to the technology in those days. Such a heavy fan, and it's using only a 2 MFD capacitor, so you can imagine how thick the coil inside will be and how thick the rotor will be. So that's the thing here. So usually I thought Polar was a two-tire company, so it wouldn't make anything good, and I thought this fan was average, but this fan is a really nice fan. And this fan can easily defeat my star here, the Prima. This this can easily be defeated by this fan, because this fan, there wouldn't be much of a heating because of more number of poles in the coil, and the diameter of the coil is also better. I mean, it's bigger compared to this one has a 20 stator and 14 plus 14 thick coil, as you have seen. If you have not seen, then just go and check it out in the community tab. But this fan will be thicker. I mean, this fan will have more number of poles for sure, because these usually never came in a 14 pole version or whatever. These were always either 16 plus 16 or 9 plus 18. So that's the thing here. So guys, this is the fan over here. So guys, thank you for watching. That's it for today. Please like, share, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video coming really soon.